Sollevatore, it's a Fiat. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. And apparently I'm collecting this model only, 1365s. Because they are piling up around this place. But my little original one here that I started with has an issue. As you may recall, the alternator light was staying on all the time. So in a previous video, we tried to swap the alternator off this one, only to find that they changed the bracket style early on in the serial numbers, apparently, because the 1355 I have has the same style as that. So we did a flip-flop and took the alternator off of this tractor. And that is the alternator that was on here, which consequently has very bad things going on inside it, because it started smoking when I hooked it up on this tractor. They had bypassed that fuse under the hood, so it was getting power all the time, and that's a no-go. So now the issue we have is the light doesn't come on at all. It does not come on when you turn the key on as it is supposed to. See, the oil pressure light comes on, but no generator light. So I'm wondering if it isn't just a coincidence that that quit working. You know, maybe the light was on so long that finally the bulb was old and it burned out, and you know, that's what I'm thinking. So what I'm wanting to do here, I got the book out, the operator's book that has the I-TALIAN wiring diagram in it. And I was thinking step one is going to be to figure out right here. I think one of these wires is hooked right to that light, and maybe I could just hook it to 12 volts and see if the light will come on. And if it does, then that means that we have trouble in one of these two things, because somehow they work together and magic happens, and I don't understand it. But that's what we're going to do. So we have to find on this page, number 14 is the battery charge indicator, and the color says A. And our code says light blue. Okay, so light blue, going to that, and then if we follow it, it goes, where does it go? Okay, light blue, it should come around here, goes up here, and it goes to the A terminal, or the 30/51 terminal here, which I believe is this wire right here is the one we need, because we have HR, which should be gray and red. There's two of those that are banded together. I see all that. And then there's a yellow one that it should be G. I guess Italian for yellow is G. I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this wire here loose. And hopefully we can do that without much sadness. Now, if what I said is to be believed, I need to touch this wire to, I think, this orange fuse holder wire I have, and then it should light up. But I think I probably have to have the key on to do that. Let me try that. Okay, it does in fact light up when I do that. So, now the question becomes, what is wrong? Well, one would venture to guess that this little unit here is having issues. Because what else could it be here? Now, it should get its power. Let me sort this out here. We're working at the maximum brain capacity that I got, so I don't know. Relay for indicator is this thing. That's its only purpose. I don't understand how to make it. I don't understand how it works. And I do not believe this is available. So, take your $900 phone and just smack it a couple times. Nope, that didn't fix it, did it? Nope. Okay. So, what is our next course of action? Well, we need to figure out, where does this yellow wire go? G from that yellow goes to the alternator. Okay. So, if we go around here, quite possibly the trouble could be right here, and that would make sense. And the reason I say that is because I put a piece of plastic inside a piece of plastic, and maybe they're not making connection good enough. Nothing. Now, the only trouble I have is I have absolutely zero idea how any of this works. Ooh, maybe we just found a problem. Could it be that the trouble is this, and that I pulled it loose? No. I reach through and make it. I can't see nothing at the daylight. Well, that did nothing. So now my next thing is, how do I know? How would I ever know what to do? Because that's kind of the question I ask myself in life all the time. But I have absolutely no idea how this works. I see the fuse. See, this thing is actually like the voltage regulator. And this other thing's only job, apparently, is to get the light to light up on the dash. So it comes, the HR red comes from the fuse, Okay. So what I'm guessing happens is it gets its power here. This yellow wire is the signal wire that tells it it's charging, and it does something magical in here and shuts it off. And then the blue goes to the indicator. So I suppose the next order of business is going to be to see which fuse, and maybe this would have been the path you took first, but I'm an idiot, so that's how that goes. So if HR is our power in, it goes to fuse number 2. But what's puzzling me is that the only gauge that's not working? No. It is. I mean, that's the only thing that's not working. So I don't think that that's our trouble. Those all look fine and dandy. But we're going to get a test light anyway, I think, to figure it out. But it has to be because of that alternator, I would think, because I didn't change nothing. Unless I shorted this out enough when I put another fuse in and that other alternator was so messed up it fried this little gizmo. That's a possibility, I suppose, but let's see. If a guy was to get a test light, that would probably be the first good thing. If all is to be believed, when I turn the key on, this should light up. It did for a second. Yes. And there is no... Ooh. Oh. I see. I had the key on the whole time. Okay, am I on or off? Here we go. One position's what I want. There. Okay, we got power here. And see, it should be sending power here. Sending power there. It's not sending power here. And I have a feeling this is ground. And the ground is what signals it to light up the light. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to ground this terminal. Let me put you where you can actually see. If this is the signal wire that connects, makes this gizmo connect this to this, then I want to see if I ground this terminal, if the light will come on the dash. Now, bear in mind, I have absolutely no idea how this works. So, you know, I might be doing this all wrong. I'd actually want to test and see if, well, I can't really do that. We're going to roll the dice and hope this wire's good. So if I take this wire here and I touch it to a ground, oh, I've fixed it already. Whenever maybe it was just stuck. Maybe it has contacts in it and they got stuck together because now it's working. So when it's not running, now dang it, it quit working again. If I take that wire off, does it come on? Yes, it does. Well, shoot. I guess I don't know how it works. I thought that the way it worked is when it grounded it, it would disconnect that solenoid, but apparently if it grounds it, the light goes out. I'm very confused. I confused myself now. But I'm pretty sure if I start it, nothing's going to happen. The light's going to stay on. Yeah. That goes out. But if I shut the tractor off, I hook the wire back up, the light does not come on like it's supposed to until I disconnect this. Then the light comes on. So what gives? That must mean that the alternator is not alternating. Or, well, no, it can't because it shuts it off all the time. Does it mean that the alternator is stuck? Would the alternator be stuck and it's not charging? I'm very confused. I've really messed with my brain here on this. But what I'm thinking about doing is just leaving that wire hang now so I don't ruin this little gizmo. Right? Because I sure don't know what's going to make that go. I mean, obviously now the trouble is in the alternator because this wire is getting power. Let's test that theory. Would it be getting power all the time? Which is a dangerous game too. See, when I touch this thing though, wait a minute. What's going on? I think I shut the key off, yeah. Okay, now, is this getting power from the alternator somehow? That's getting power. I hear it clicking, but it shouldn't be. It should not be clicking yet. So that little gizmo works, I believe. And our trouble has to be that alternator, but I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand why. The only thing I could understand maybe is that, like, well, no, I don't want to say that either. If this regulator was stuck on, would that make the light go out right away? It could be that I ruined this piece, but I would have no way to test this as far as I know. I don't know how this works. So if I put this back on, but then I pull this fuse, is that going to make any difference to it? Let's see. Or not. I guess I won't do it because I don't have a plug. Well, now, did that make the light go on? No. Okay, so to me, that tells me that my trouble is in fact in the alternator. Because otherwise, why would it do such a thing? when I put this on, very frustrating. See, the light's out. Could it be that something else here is not making a good connection? And that is causing my trouble. Oh, that came loose. Ooh. There, I got a spark. I bet that fried my fuse. No? Jeez. I just don't know. Okay. Let's pause. Let's see about fixing this, because this ain't gonna go. The only thing I can say is this must be messed up. The alternator, that is. I wish I was about 3 IQ points smarter right now, because that would really help out. But I'm not. So, we're just gonna roll with it. Jeez. I'm also wondering, is it possible that maybe there... It's kind of dirty in there. Would it be possible that grease or oil is shorting it out? I just don't know. Just want it to work. But we're not going to get there. So, my next order of business is to just not worry about it. I will take this alternator in and try to get it rebuilt so that maybe I can put it back on there and figure out what has to be done. Because I don't know. Maybe I can get these online cheaper than rebuilding, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to distinguish between the two different styles, because they are definitely different and will not interchange. But, I don't know. Pretty interesting stuff that I learned here doing this. But as far as I know, everything on it is still working correctly other than the alternator, because somehow that magic should transfer over and make the sucker go. So, unfortunately, that did not do anything for us other than waste our time. All right, now I think what I want to do, well, I got something else I want to do real quick, but I'll bring you back and we will try to go over to this other one and see if we can't figure out why we have no electrical system working on that one at all. But I got something else I want to do just real quick, so give me a minute. Well, the good news is that that gasket thing we replaced is still doing well. But the bad news is the thing that I was going to do real quick before we moved on failed on me. I was thinking the other day, you know, these Allen-headed screws I don't really like, and I thought I should probably take them all out and put anti-seize on. Well, as I suspected, one of them already gave up the ghost, so I'll have to drill that out one day when I ain't got nothing else to do. But that'll be a project for another time. Let's go over to this unit. It might be starting to rain, so we might be done. I'm definitely wet with sweat already. It is hot and muggy out here for some reason. I don't know why. It's decided to do that. Alright. Let's hook up our battery. Now, if anything is to be believed, first of all, we need to delete this. This ain't going good. Let's see. It would be getting its power from this end, so I need to disconnect this end too. Oh, I'm just not going to go. I'm pretty sure that's where the power comes from. And then it goes into a fuse holder is supposed to, and then goes into your regulator, which then goes on to your alternator, I believe. The gray wire goes up there, yeah. So that ain't gonna go. But what I gotta do now, I gotta figure out this mess. Because I ain't got nothing. These fuses don't look, they look bad. Let me rephrase that. Although these fuses look bad, they are not, in fact, blown. So, it may not make much difference. However, when I turn on the key, okay, number 2 came on, and there's power on both ends. Ooh. Number 1 came on, there's power on both ends. Then on from that, it should all be headlights. 3 came on, but there's no power through it. So that fuse might be roached. That one came on. There's no power through it. You turn on. Yeah, that position there, no fuse. Last position. Maybe the power comes from the top. No, pretty sure it comes from the bottom. Alright. So, on this mess, we've got to figure out. Be interesting to know if that little jobby works on this one, because it is hooked up backwards now. Surely my alternator or my relay thing wasn't hooked up backwards all this time, was it? And it just happened to be that can't be. There's no way. How would we know? How would we know which one is what? Could that be? 30/51 is A, and A is blue, which goes to the gauge, and G is 85. Can I get my fat self down underneath to see that? I don't know. 85, 31, out. Man, I can't see. I would have thought that on the other one I already took the care to make sure that was correct. But it might be worth pulling this off and double checking, because something ain't right there. Either on this one or my other one. Okay, well, I'm not opposed to taking stuff apart if it means we're going to learn something. So, even though this is bound to cause some sadness, I'm sure, because we know something will go wrong. Either this will twist off, or we'll break all of our stuff. We're going to have to get an extension because this won't fit in there. Sure. I am more likely to believe that this one is all out of whack than my other one, but I may be wrong. The thing is, my other one was working. So why would this not, all at once, not be working? That's what just doesn't compute here. I would be more likely to think that the wires got popped off of this at some point. Somebody just stuck them back wherever they thought it would work. Okay. Now, 85, 86, 30/51, and 87. None of that makes sense to you, but it will in a second, whenever I show you what's happening. So one little handy thing about these Italian gals is they label stuff very good. So A is our light blue wire, and it is supposed to go to 30/51. And if you look on there, right underneath there, it says, above this metal thing, it says 30/51, light blue. Then, if you look out, the next one is the yellow is green and it's supposed to go to 85, and it is not on this one. It's hooked to 86, so those are backwards. So this needs to go like such. And we don't know that this is any good, but having the wiring correct is probably a good step to have. Okay, 85 is yellow, because G is yellow. 86 is HR, which is gray and red. And then 87 is the jumper from gray to red. So this is now wired up correctly. So that's fine. That means my other one is correct, as I thought it would be, because I took the time. In that one video where everybody was bad-mouthing me, saying, "What shouldn't take so long to do wiring? What's the matter with you?" Well, when the wiring is in a different language than yours, and they use all different letters than your brain can comprehend, it is going to be that way sometimes. But I'm thinking it's going to go. Now, at least that part's right. That's what I'm saying. Yep. I have no idea. All right. Now, for good measure, what I did on the other one was I sanded all these terminals, and then I put all new fuses in it. And I'm wondering if it's just not going to be that kind of a situation again, where, you know, where that would be a thing. Because this sure ain't working. I mean, they're all supposed to be the same fuse except for the end one. I'll have to look at the book again, I can't remember. But one of them is super more than the others. And so let me get some sandpaper or something. Or how did I do that on the last one? Wire wheel on a drill, maybe? That would make sense. Alright, this is not the correct tool for this job, but it's working though. Come on. That's dangerous. Okay, yep. Let's bend it all up. That would be a grand finale. Now, fuses. Fuses in our book. I read it somewhere. Where does it say it? Somewhere it says all of the fuses are one thing except for another. Fuses. Where are you? Electric system, battery, starter motor, cold starting aid. 6 8-amp fuses and 1 16-amp fuse. Because I think it's all of them are 8 except for the first one. Where did I read that? There, maybe in that section. Fuses. 6 fuses are housed in a box and in one separate holder. All of the fuses are of 8 amps except number 1, which is a 16-amp fuse. So 8 amps and 16 amps. Well, this is one of those times you just kind of got to laugh and walk away. Because I have at least 4 boxes of the correct fuses, because I ordered some and then ended up with more and watch-me and whatever. I cannot find a single fuse, not even one. And I thought at least I had an assortment box left over in this one that I put in here for, you know, if you blow a fuse. No, ain't none. I can't find anything that has fuses in it. So I'm supposing that we're probably done for the day, which is fine because I'm over it. But that's kind of sad because I really wanted to get these. Let's have a look-see at them though. Does this have a number on it? MTA. But it doesn't say what the voltage is. Or is it on the side? No. Boy, I can't read that. That's teeny tiny. Well, we're just going to snap some in. Maybe they'll work. We really only need the first one. That one's blown, so that ain't doing nothing. But some of these might. We're just mainly worried about those. If I turn on something now, I should get something, and I get nothing. Oh, but I know why, maybe. We had this issue before. Maybe we're not getting a ground. Oh, boys, this is just a... I'm afraid we're going to be running some jumper wires and stuff, because I don't get any twitches or anything out of any of this stuff. Will it start? Nope. Battery's still dead. Interesting. But we do know now one thing is that if I touch here, it lights, here it lights, and it should be like on every position. Well, wait a minute now. What did I do? That's off. That's on. Come on. Well, conditions are deteriorating. It might be my test light. Jeez. What kind of setup is this? Mickey Mouse. I just had it working. Now I screwed it all up. Yeah, I'm getting nothing now. But that's not saying that I'm doing it right. It might be that... Let me see if this will reach the battery. What's happening here? I lost all my power to my fuse box, and I don't understand why. I hate to call it off as a total failure, but obviously these are possessed by demons, because I have no idea why this one won't. The electrical is just not playing nice. I don't get it. There's no reason why we shouldn't have something. We had something and we lost it. And that doesn't make any sense, because it gets all its power from up there. I mean, it should be working fine, and it's not. So, I don't know what else to do for today. I'm kind of over it. We'll try it one more time, but if I turn the key on, I should get power. I had it for a second. And now I don't. Did it blow this first fuse and then that regulates all the others? No. I should still have power here. There. Oh. Well, what happened here? When I put this fuse in, it quits? Now how come I have it back all at once? That's weird. That's weird. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Like I said, I think we're going to just fold her up and forget it. Because I'm not sure why it's not wanting to play nice with me. But I know one thing for sure. I just don't feel up to it. I don't know what it is. here lately. But it's almost like some kind of depression. I'm not sure why, but I just don't feel like continuing my sadness here. So I'm going to move on and do something else. And we'll save this for another time. Another project, I want to try to take this horn apart and figure out if I can make it go beepity beep, because that's an original style. And that would be kind of neat for the other one, but like I said, I'm just not motivated to do it right now, so we'll save that for another time. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.